We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So Cardi B went to an after party after the Knicks won the NBA championship this year. And she was spotted with Quavo, who used to be in a group with Off the Cheat. If you guys remember the Migos, which, obviously they split up and, people went their separate ways because Off the Cheat thought he was the Beyonce of the group, but his solo career is flopping. They were listening to Drake's Shebang in the club, and a lot of people feel like they was looking a little bit too chummy at the club together, kind of close. And a lot of people are speculating that something is going on between Quavo and Cardi B, especially since Off the Cheat slept with Sweetie, and Sweetie used to be Quavo's ex. So a lot of people feel like this is get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be doing our thing, smashing on the low since, you smashed Sweetie. So there's no, family or, girl or guy code. Definitely no loyalty, especially when it comes to Off the Cheat, because he's cheated on Cardi B so many times. Now, in my opinion, I definitely think Quavo would sleep with Cardi B. I don't know if Cardi B would sleep with Quavo, but I definitely think Quavo would sleep with Cardi B. I don't think he would, cuff her, though. I don't think that they would be in any type of relationship or anything like that, because Cardi B can't keep a man to save her life. But I do think he would sleep with her to spite Off the Cheat, especially after Off the Cheat slept with Sweetie, which allegedly it was Sweetie's best friend as well. So, I feel like a revenge, setup could be happening. Camel Face is still after Nicki. He just won't let it go. Big Fendi, the man that originally discovered Nicki Minaj, said that Camel Face will be dropping a Knicks freestyle for the Come Up DVD. Now, if you don't know what the Come Up DVD is, the Come Up DVD was like a mixtape series with a bunch of different artists like Jadakiss, Nicki Minaj, 50 Cent, and others, okay? It was owned by Fendi, who originally discovered Nicki Minaj. They have had a up and down relationship, but Big Fendi is now working with Camel Face after already working with Lil' Kim. A lot of fans are not happy about this, though. A fan said, not surprised with Fendi, switched the team long ago with Kim. Even though him and Nicki had a public convo to make up, it was what it was. But y'all really gonna tell me that it's a coincidence? Camel Face is recently pulling everyone even remotely from Nicki's orbit into his. Child. And the worst part about it is Camel Face is in fact telling people that he believes Nicki Minaj is scared to go toe-to-toe with him in the booth. Okay? That's why he dropping another freestyle. And I'm thinking, didn't you back to Brooklyn next? Why are you putting out a Knicks freestyle and you was back in the Brooklyn Nets a few years ago? Okay? Now he just hopping on the bandwagon. He just literally be hopping on every bandwagon. And then on top of that, my whole thing is they don't have to respond on your time. Drake and Nicki can respond on their time just like you did. You didn't respond right away when they was dragging you. You responded 2 to 3 weeks after Iceman came out. And then Nicki Minaj was dragging you last year and you was mute. I mean, this is ridiculous. But he does want a response from Nicki and Drake. That's why he dropped another freestyle. And I knew this is going to happen. He going to drag this on. He going to continue to drag them and drag this on because this 70-year-old man ain't got nothing else going on. Okay, he's trying to revive his rap career that left years ago. And the thing is, I think Nicki should give him what he wants. Respond and end his career right then and there. Well, I don't know if she can end his career. I'm not going to say that. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I definitely think that if she drop a fire freestyle, Camel Face won't be looked at in the same light. Just like what happened with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. People don't view Drake the same as they did before, especially after Not Like Us came out. Okay? But I definitely think she should give him what he wants and go below the belt. He went below the belt with her and talked about her family. She needs to go below the belt with him. It just don't make no sense how he trying to rush a response when you took like, a whole fucking year to respond to Nicki Minaj. Like, stop. This is ridiculous. Now, YK Nice, Bunna B, Glorilla, and Sexy Red all linked up. Okay, allegedly they got some music coming. They already have all worked with each other in the past before, but they got something coming, and allegedly shots will be aimed at Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, unfortunately, female rap unity is over. A lot of the girls will click up with each other to diss one girl. Let me know if you guys will be here for this collaboration. In my opinion, I only like Gorilla. I think everybody else in this video is trash, in my opinion. No shade. Now, Shakira has announced that Tyla will be joining her on tour for her U.S. leg. A lot of people feel like this is, Tyla again trying to get back at Rihanna. Because at the end of the day, everybody knows that Shakira and Rihanna have worked together. Shakira also worked with Beyonce. Fans compared She Did It Again to Can't Remember to Forget You, the song that, Shakira and Rihanna put out years ago. So a lot of people feel like Tyla is ultimately trying to copy the Rihanna formula. She's still trolling Rihanna. She's working with Rihanna's team. She's using Rihanna's writers. Now she linking up with Shakira is giving the Rihanna rollout for her career. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I think Tyla's doing exactly what she should be doing. Female rappers have done it to Nicki Minaj. So at the end of the day, I feel like that's just how it goes in the industry. And it's clear as day the industry is trying to replace Rihanna with Tyla, and Rihanna is helping them. Rihanna's not really putting out music. She's too busy prancing around town with A$AP the Colorist. So if you ain't shitting, get off the pot. My whole thing is she can't keep her spot by doing nothing. You keep your spot by continuing to put out music and, show how legendary you are. You not putting out music for almost a decade and prancing around town with your baby daddy is not going to help you solidify your spot. Sorry. So I feel like Tyla, she coming for Rihanna's spot, and I think eventually she'll be able to take it, in my opinion. Now, Liz Diddy, bring your big ass here. Come to the front of the congregation. You will be receiving Donkey of the Day. Lizzo's 5th album fails to debut a single track on the Billboard Hot 100, despite, trying to spark a Nicki Minaj feud, blaming Titanic Records, running her own promo, and hosting pop-up events. It's now 3 years and 6 months since Lizzo has last had a lead single debut on the Billboard Hot 100. Not only that, her new album won't be in the top 20 on the Billboard 200 album chart, unfortunately, which means that she could possibly sell less than 20,000 first week. Okay. Now, in my opinion, I've said this before, Lizzo's probably going to get dropped from Titanic Records. And to be quite honest, I think she is the problem. She's the reason why she's flopping. She can't blame Titanic Records. Okay. Because you was on top a few years ago. So nothing has really changed. Streaming was popping there. Streaming's popping now. Radio was popular then. Radio is popular now. So you can't blame it on streaming and radio and the algorithm. Your music is trash. Your music is trash. Okay, mashed potato stomach. And you should have kept Nicki Minaj's name out your mouth. Okay? Next time, don't go up against the big dogs. You big, but you can't go up against the big dogs. You just big physically. But musically, you're a little dog, okay? Musically, you're a flop. You're back to the Kaya Asylum. Bitch, I don't want to hear you mention nothing anymore. You clout chaser, big bottom feeder. donut face ass bitch. Okay? Let's be very clear. I'm tired of you clout chasing, and I never liked Liz Diddy. I never did. People gonna say, oh, well, it must have been the SA cases why people don't support her no more. That's her fault. Maybe don't be weird to your employees and have them shove objects up their vajayjays. Maybe be a normal boss and that won't happen. Okay. So again, Lizzo will be receiving Donkey of the Day. I already gave her lashings a few days ago. So there's no sense of beating a horse. But the point of the matter is, clout chasing only gets you so far. Dummy. Next time, use talent instead of clout. Now, Cardi B is trying to recruit Champagne Thickums and get her lick back at Ice Spice. She was spotted in the club, not only with Quavo, but turning up with Stunna Sandy, or Sandy Stunna, whatever her name is, which is Ice Spice replacement. And as we know, Stunna Sandy did a record with Champagne Thickums, and allegedly Cardi B is trying to work with Champagne Thickums because he's very hot right now. Iceman, one of the best albums of the year, has dropped #1 again on the Billboard 200 chart. Got a lot of hits on this album. Janet Shut the Fuck Up, Shebang, Too Hard for the Radio, Dust, Burning Bridges. He got a lot of hits on this album. So everybody wants a piece of the pie, including Cardi B. And as we briefly discussed earlier, she was in the club with Quavo listening to Shebang. So a lot of people are speculating that, she can definitely get that Champagne Thickums collaboration. Fan says she want that Drake feature bad, and he might just give it to her. Not only that, let's not forget, Champagne Thickums did name drop Nicki and Cardi B in his song Don't Worry. He said he's so drunk talking about the DJ, he just played Nicki, then some Cardi, I'm sorry. Okay, so he did name drop Cardi B. A lot of people thought he was talking about Playboy Cardi. That wouldn't even logically make any fucking sense. Obviously, he's talking about Cardi B, and that's why he's apologizing, because the DJ luckily played Nicki and then some Cardi B, and Nicki and Cardi have beef. So let me know how y'all feel about it. Here's the thing. Allegedly, Cardi B and Drake do already have a song in the stash. You may be wondering, why hasn't it came out? He's worked with Sexy Red. He's worked with Scratch Off. He's worked with, Meek Mill and Amigos. All of Nicki Minaj's ops he has worked with. The reason why the Cardi B collaboration never fully came out is because it was done, I believe, in 2018, 2019, where the beef was heightened. Remember? Cardi B threw the shoe. Then, they got into it on social media several times. So because the beef was so heightened, Drake was told by Wayne, thankfully, Wayne has some common sense, told him, it wouldn't be a good idea for him to be dropping no records while this beef is, going to the next level. And then there were times where him and Nicki really weren't speaking. So I think he knew that would be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it would be a good look for Drake, considering that Nicki Minaj has stuck up for Drake and been by his side while he went through several different beefs. And the industry is clearly trying to push him out. It just wouldn't logically make sense. But one thing we've noticed is that Young Money tends to not stick together. Wayne, Drake and Nicki, they don't stick together even though they should. I think that if they had stuck by Nicki when she was first being blackballed, which was in 2017, then it would have prevented how the industry moved with, Wayne now and, Drake now. Wayne complaining about, I can't go to Coachella. I can't perform at Coachella. I can't get invited to the Grammys. All of this would have been prevented if you had stuck by Nicki Minaj. But y'all only cared about yourselves. So now everybody is getting pushed out at the same fucking time. Because they see that y'all are a weak, united front. Y'all don't stick together. So it is what it is. I can definitely see Drake working with Cardi B. If he'll work with Scratch Off, and Scratch Off talked about Nicki Minaj's family, he definitely would work with Cardi B. Okay, I think he would want some coochie first, though. And she gonna have to give up the coochie, the punani, because, I don't think she can afford to pay Drake for a feature. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in description. And I hope you guys have a great day.